Good evening. I'm Enarida Lord and welcome to Churikua. I remember my visit to Hvidsten, so I decided to stay at Hvidsten Inn. One morning, with a coffee in my hand, I admired in detail its beauty, history, and its passage in time. The room very comfortable and with a homey but trendy air. However, it had certain peculiarities, such as late at night you could hear footsteps, doors slamming, and even people talking late at night. I made a comment to the people in charge, and they did not comment anything other than their apologies and that they would take care of the situation. It was strange, since at dusk, or even more so at night, I would hear footsteps as of an employee passing by, and I would go out into the hallway. I wanted to see outside, and I opened the door. There was no one there. This happened to me more than one occasion. I heard voices in the hallways, in the corridors, footsteps, even a desperate scream. I assumed that someone needed help, and when I opened the door, everything was silent. The next day, I returned at night. I felt pretty cold, more than usual for the time of the year. I heard footsteps, whispers coming from the corridor. It was a little strange, but I decided just to stop paying attention to it. I sighed and met a man about 50 years old. I greeted him, but there was no response. I guess he had a lot of unfinished business to think on. With some reservations, I continued my sojourn there, but I couldn't help but meet him in the distance. On one side or the other, I waved at him and got no response. I came to think he was deaf or something, so I let it go. Although I must admit that it caught my attention to see him always dressing in suits, or sometimes when he was not wearing a jacket with pants with suspenders. Something that caught my attention a lot. That's how my stay went. And one day I was in my room. The door was stuck, and in a curious way he came to my aid. He opened it for me. I thanked him, and the only thing I heard him say was, "It's nothing. Do you need something else?" "No, nothing else. Thank you." He turned around, and when I realized about it, he just disappeared. My blood froze, and I just assumed he left in a hurry to finish some other pending. So much so that I didn't even see him leave. So, at least that's the explanation I wanted to give myself at that moment. That night, I dreamed something extremely strange. I dreamed of being there, in that place. I saw him as part of the hotel staff, a woman, his wife, and other younger women, a young man. Soon after, I understood that they were his daughters and the husband of one of them. They were talking vehemently about a cargo, about their concern about being discovered. You could see the concern in their faces. Apparently they were in a war, judging by their clothes and furniture, perhaps Second World War. They were hiding. They tried to flee, but they came forcing opening the door, destroying things, kicking furniture. They were seen arrested, humiliated, and on a trial. I saw their deaths, their humiliations. I even felt their pain, their sorrow, but their full and calm conscience that they did everything they could. I felt as if they were in my own thoughts. We will take care of our people and Hvidsten Inn as long as God allows us to. We will take care of our people and Hvidsten Inn as long as God allows us to. We will take care of our people and Hvidsten Inn as long as God allows us to. The next morning, I woke up with a great disorientation and confusion. I could not believe what I dreamt. It was so vivid that I could not believe it. I did not know if it was true, but something told me inside me that it was so. Perhaps he wanted to transmit or give me the answers to these concerns about what was happening. I couldn't resist and I got ready and went out as fast as I could. Having breakfast outside, I need to get out, get some fresh air, and continue with my visit. In the end, I felt it would be wise to leave, so I called the reception to confirm that I was leaving. I would be leaving. As I returned to get my stuff, while the employee went out to check that everything was in order, the atmosphere began to cool down, and with firm and strong steps, that man made his presence known. Good day. Is everything in order? Yes, that's right. I hope your stay was to your liking. It was. Thank you very much. I said with nerves and shivers, trying to hide my fear. Glad to hear it. My name is Marius Phil, and we thank you for your visit. Shortly after, he excused himself with a gesture and left. As I passed through the door, I no longer heard his footsteps and the atmosphere returned to normal. The employee returned and confirmed that everything was in order, and I asked him, "Excuse me, who is that man in a suit, in his 50s and tall? Is he manager or owner of the hotel?" "Who are you talking about? Excuse me. Do you know his name?" "Yes, I mean Mr. Mariusville." The surprised and serious employee looked up something on the computer and showed me a picture. "You mean him?" "That's right," I nodded. According to what he told me and took me on a tour of the place, he and his family owned the hotel during the Second World War. They became part of the local resistance and were in charge of weapons and getting them into new hands. Unfortunately, they were caught by the Gestapo, arrested, and he and some of his people were executed as part of their sentence. Seeing that memorial made me admire him, being still dead, and after all he suffered, he is still looking after what was once his home.